Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is the Avengers 3, the end of the trilogy for the Avengers series of Planeswalker decks. This one takes a turn for the Golgari, including the killer combo that ends the game in one turn. We've got removals for critical enemy men and a card we can use to snipe any permanent. Our Planeswalkers are geared towards getting us an advantage either on board or with card draw. An advantage on board is our aim while we build up to take down the opponent. Whether we get them with our men or theirs, or we take them to Combo Town, the Avengers always take down the enemy. We play 3 Cut Down, the removal for early and small men. Our biggest challenge is early and fast men. To keep us in the game, we're leaning on removals to help us stay in the game until we can outpower the opponent. And nothing beats this for early removal. It can hit opposing 3 power 2 toughness men that can be a big danger early. Feed the Cycle is another removal, but this one can hit enemy planeswalkers. As a bonus, we can forage and pay only 2 mana to snipe an enemy. Flexibility is always good, my friends. Innkeeper's talent is a powerful enchantment that we'll use to slowly build up our men. Not only does it affect our men, but it also works well with our planeswalkers. At level 2, it'll give anything we have with a counter on it the ward ability. Level 3 is where this enchantment shines. It doubles the amount of counters our spells and effects put on a permanent or a player. It's this third ability that we look to take advantage of with Vraska, who will end the game the same turn we play her out. The Dreadknight has been a staple of Undying Golgari decks, and we're playing him here as a way to draw extra cards and a man that keeps coming back. In a deck that wants to get a particular pair of cards in play, card draw is very beneficial. And if we need him to pressure the opponent's life total, he does have trample, and with a little bit of pump, the Dreadknight can be an effective attacker. Tear Asunder is an excellent piece of destruction. It will hit any enchantment or artifact and exile it for 2 mana. If we pay the kicker cost, we can exile any non-land permanent instead. Ancient Cornucopia is artifact ramp that also gains us a bit of life once per turn when we play a card. It can counteract the life we lose when we draw with a Dreadknight. Every point of life could matter in a long game or against mono-red. Wrenn and Realmbreaker is our first planeswalker. We can use Wrenn to turn a land into a 3/3 with hexproof and vigilance. We're not on a self-mill plan, so we won't be using the -2 ability, but it could be useful if we're stuck on lands or we are desperate to find our combo. Wrenn's ultimate gives us the ability to play permanents from the grave, so we can bring back anything that's been destroyed or countered. Ashiok is another good member of the Avengers 3. We can get excellent card selection with the +1 ability, which is helpful in finding our combo or a specific card we need. The -2 ability will make a pair of 1/1 men that grow at the beginning of our attack step if we exile a card. Although we're unlikely to use her ultimate, keep in mind that playing the adventure part of a virtue will exile it, and that has a mana cost of 7. The green Overlord is a great ramp that turns into a powerful attacker once the impending counters have come off. The big body is enough to stall inbound attacks or get ours started. Vraska is the other half of our killer combo. Without an Innkeeper's talent, Vraska gets us extra cards as well as a way to deal with enemy men. But it's her ultimate that we hope to exploit with a maxed out Innkeeper's talent. That will let us fire off the ultimate right away, and when we poison the opponent, they'll get double the 9 poison. GG's opponent. It's been real, and it's been fun. And this combo is real fun. The black Virtue is pretty much a standard staple for any mid-range deck playing swamps. Early, the Virtue is removal for any 3 toughness men or less, and later in the game, we can play it out and get any men in any grave. This is essentially an alternate win condition if our other plans don't unfold. Nissa is our last Avenger. Her +1 ability generates a decent-sized token that we can use to defend or send in on the attack. With a meta heavy in artifacts and enchantments, her -1 ability will be useful in taking away the opponent's weapons. The ultimate can be a lethal blow if we have enough men on board. We only have a total of 8 forests in the deck, but the land tokens the Overlord generates are all land types, so any of those would count towards the pump our men receive. For lands, we have 1 Mirex, the land that generates toxic lads. 4 Fabled Passage, the land that can fetch out any basic from our library. 2 Demolition Field, the land we can use to snipe opposing non-basic lands. 3 Underground Mortuary, the Golgari Surveil land. 4 Restless Cottage, the Golgari Manland. 5 Forest, and 4 Swamp. Playing the deck is not that complicated. The key is to get an Innkeeper's talent in play and then level it up to level 3 while developing our mana to be able to play out of Vraska and then hit the opponent with enough poison counters to win. In the early game, we want to keep dangerous enemy men off the board while we plan out our line of plays that get us a victory. In the mid-game, we should have the mana to level up an Innkeeper's talent to level 3 and enough of a board that we can defend or go on the attack, depending on what the opponent's board looks like. In the late game, if we don't have the combo, our Avengers are strong enough that they should take over the game. For upgrades, look at possibly replacing Cut Down, and maybe even the Cornucopia for discard to limit the opponent's options. Other options include some lifelink men to help offset any early damage we might take. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Radar. No wait, it's Ryder the Kid. Ride it like you stole it. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander. We've got half of our poison combo, but we're a bit heavy with 2 copies of our top end. The Cornucopia could help out. We'll need some good draws early. Keep your pants on. They're on Mardu, and they're playing out a Collector's Vault. The Vault is a fantastic card for Reanimator decks, so let's keep an eye out for any shenanigans. We do have an Angry Outhouse that we can use to snipe any men in their grave if it looks like they might be going for a reanimation play. We'll go ahead and draw with the Dreadknight. We need to get deeper into our deck to help find removals or a way to exile their vault. The draw does get us a Vraska, and we now have both parts of the combo. They tossed a Lord Valdemort, which is a clear sign they are on the Reanimator plan. We draw a Tear Asunder, which we could use on their vault, but with our combo in hand, we'll push ahead to go for it over taking out their vault. A Rite of the Moth gets them a Traxa. Luckily, we have our Tear Asunder to snipe it. Looking at what they picked up, it looks like they have a Faithful to get something else out of the grave. That could be a problem, and we don't have enough removals to take care of the Faithful and Atraxa. This is our first critical decision point. We either snipe their Atraxa and try to stop their plans, or we go full throttle for our combo. This turn, we can play out our Overlord with Impending and our Innkeeper's talent. Then next turn, we can level it all the way to level 3, and we'll have the mana to play out Vraska on the following turn. I think I like that over trying to take out their men with only 1 removal. They add another 1/1 and use their vault. They tap out without really adding much to their board. They play out the Faithful, then send their men. We go down to 11. Unless they have something with haste, they'll only be able to do 10 damage to us on their next attack. We'll level up our talent, and that will be our turn. They have to knock us off on their attack, or they're done. They go for another vault and go digging. They need only 1 point more. More vault action, but nothing further. We'll take the 10 damage. It's GG's. All we need to do is play out Vraska and fire off the ultimate.
All becomes glory of Phyrexia.
This is Sue Gotch. Got what, bro? We get a 3-lander with a removal and our combo already. Finding it was easy. Now to get it in play. Keep? Our surveil land shows we've got a forest on top. We're going to need our manas, so we'll keep it. We'll go for our talent this turn, then we can work on getting it to level 3. They draw with a Dreadknight, but they have no green in play. The demolition field will take care of their man land before they get a chance to use it. We'll get a forest and use it right away to level up our talent. That's level 2 for those keeping score at home. They play out a slasher, the guy that keeps coming back for more. We've got a Tear Asunder with his name on it. I can see some decks struggling to deal with the slasher, but we've got the right cards to be sure we don't fall victim to his shenanigans. Free trip to Belize for this slasher. Enjoy the trip, bro. A second slasher? Sue Gotch is full of surprises. We've drawn more than enough lands to pull off the combo. All we need is for Sue Gotch to not snipe our talent. As for the slasher, we can snipe it, but let's wait to do it on their turn. That'll buy us an extra turn before it can attack again. They drop a Dreadknight, then go for draw with the second one. This is when we snipe the slasher. Get gone, girl. And now we take our talent up to level 3 in preparation to drop the hammer on our next turn. It's like a horror movie over there. All these slashers and nothing to slash. They've got to do the full 20 damage this turn, or it's GG's. 3 damage is all they can muster. Well done, bro. Well done. Vraska will clean this game up nicely. Pack your bags, Sue. You're gonna combo town.
Phyrexian life will rise.
GG's. Extra cheese.
Soon we will be the same.
This is the beastie, Anne. Beastly indeed, bro. That heartburn looks pretty bad. Try Pepto, bro. We've got a shuffler special this time around. We do have a Dreadknight to draw us a card, but then we'll need a 3rd land. A pair of Overlords will get us out of the jam if we can only get that 3rd land. Keep your pants on. No 3rd land yet, so we'll go with the passage and wait to pop it at the end of their turn. It's time to grab a land. We pretty much have to get a forest here to be sure we have the double green for the Overlords. If we get one down, we'll have the double black as well. We don't get a 3rd land, and now it's up to our Dreadknight. Get us a land, bro. They counter our draw. This game could go down a hole pretty easily if we stay stuck on 2. We get a 3rd land. Let's try an Overlord. It could break us out of this jam if we get it down. It goes through without a hitch. Against their counters, we'll want to have as much mana as possible. Getting more and more lands is going to be critical. Their first play is a Lauren, which will deal with our Overlord, but he's already done his primary job. We're at 4 mana, and not looking back. This decision point is easy. We need lands, and the Overlord can do that for us. The Cornucopia would be all right as well, but it can be destroyed, and we wouldn't have advanced mana-wise. But even if they take out our Overlord, he'll have gotten us a land anyways. They snipe our Overlord, but once again, he's done his job already. We've gotten ourselves right out of the land jam. Without the Overlords, we'd still be on 3 lands. This time, we will go with the Cornucopia. If it lands, we'll be able to play out the Overlord we just drew and get another land. The opponent counters the Cornucopia. Sure thing, bro. That negate was burning a hole in their hand. With them nearly tapped out, we can go ahead and land 1/2 of our combo. That's what they should have countered. They play out a Teferi, but they tapped out to do so. What they should have done was wait until they had enough to play Teferi and have mana up for negate to stop a removal from hitting their Planeswalker, and they make a token right away. I prefer to use Teferi to draw for the first few turns before cranking out men. You want to outdraw your opponent and have card advantage over having board advantage. Maybe this is their first time playing control. You attack first, then use the draw ability. It's a parade of oopsie-poopsies, starting with that negate. We'll take out Teferi, at least one threat will be gone, and we'll worry about what's left. The question is, do we draw or do we play him out to be able to block? In this matchup, we're probably going to want to draw, considering we have a combo that can take them out in one shot. They do have counters, but they're not being very selective about when they use them. They play out a Jace, so they have the 1-2 punch of blue Planeswalkers. That's unfortunate, since now we have to deal with Jace. And there's a token that we've also got to worry about. They mill away a pair of lands and a Cornucopia, but luckily, no ammo. Once again, they botch it by drawing with Lauren before they attack. Bro is so clever, he outsmarted himself. They get us a cut down, which will work on Lauren. We'll play out the Dreadknight. We'll give a block when they send the token. Then we have to snipe Jace. This will leave exactly 1 mana up, which we'll use to level up our talent.
The knowledge we acquired is still valuable.
They go for another Teferi. Might as well play out more muscle in a control deck when you're ahead on board.
I'm quite a tough opponent.
This time, Beastly Anne does go for draw. I'm rather surprised. The good thing is that token doesn't have trample. We'd be in a world of hurt if it did. To snipe Teferi, or to endure his presence? That is the question, my friends. On the one hand, he has to go, but on the other, we have limited mana, and we won't be able to do everything we want this turn. That token has got to find its way to Belize. We'll draw with the Dreadknight before he ends up in the grave permanently.
Nobody knows the past better than me.
They make another token, then draw to pump it up. A caretaker's talent would be back-breaking if they were to play one. Luckily, they haven't figured out how well it works with Teferi. They snipe our talent. It's unfortunate, but we haven't seen a Vraska, so it wasn't doing much of anything. We've got to focus on staying alive and killing off their Teferi and token. They must have heard me. They send in Lauren for damages. I do like that they used instants at sorcery speed and tapped themselves out to draw a pair of cards. We've got no worries about counters, so we can carry out whatever we'd like to do. We have to snipe the token. We've got to preserve the life we have. It's not super critical, but we currently have no avenue to get to a win, and we have to find a way. Let's start by getting a blocker down, and we can use a map token. That's a Nissa on top. We have the mana to play her out for the full cost, and we can generate some big token men with her, plus 1 ability. Next, we'll snipe Lauren. If they give us a draw, they're helping us out, and if not, then we're fine with where we're at. Get gone, girl. The botch job continues. Had they not played a land first, they would have gotten a treasure token at least. But their Beza does nothing for them. Nice ornament, beastly Anne. Once again, they tap out. We'll go ahead and play out Nissa for the full cost, and we'll generate a token right away.
You will grow with us. Phyrexia must be...
The knight will get another map token, and that shows us a Tear Asunder. We'll want that. Our first attack of the game, and we're sending the Dreadknight at Teferi. Let's see if they give a block about their Planeswalker. They throw Beza in the way, and we're left with tokens. Another Beza, but that one gives them as much value as their last one. They got nothing out of it.
Another mystery solved.
Phyrexia's growth cannot be stopped.
We've got some sniping to do, but we have too many targets and not enough ammo. Is it the token or Teferi? I think this time around we have to snipe the Planeswalker. Without Teferi, the token won't grow as fast.
Again.
I never fight alone.
All right, it's time to get in there. Let's send the token. It's only an 8/8. Take the hit, bro. Come on. They do take the hit. We get them down to 13 in one blow. Let's do a quick count of the Tear Asunders we've used. It feels like we've fired off all 4. That is indeed all 4 used up. Luckily, we still have our pants on. In another classic botch, the opponent fires off a Sunfall that at first would look great, but they could have attacked and hit for at least 4. Instead, they will only do 2 with their land. Luckily, they haven't been able to pump their land, and we drew a cut down, which will do just that when they activate their land again. This turn, we have to land Ashiok and make some token men. We've got to start trying to land some punches. Any hits are good hits at this point.
Fight beside us.
They fire off another Sunfall, which definitely slows us down. They've got a decision point, a rather critical one. Go for knocking out Ashiok or putting Nissa down to 2. Which one will it be? At the last second, they activate their land. Perfect. We can take it out with cut down. Let's do so before they swing in, and it generates a map token. They knock out Ashiok, but leave us Nissa to be able to generate big tokens. Thanks, bro, I knew that's what they'd do. We'll send in the angry outhouse. We'll get them down to 9 life. They're within arm's reach now. This time they get a treasure token from their Beza. You've made that card look so good, bro. I gotta get me a playset. A little Jace, that's nice. They have only Beza up to block, so this is our turn to smash. We've got a total of 9 forests in play, so we'll give our outhouse and token +9, +9, and trample. We could have activated the second outhouse, but this is all we need. 29 trample damage coming at you, bro. Block up. Don't go down to 0 or less. You can do it, bro. And that's GG's, extra cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.